to Night City. We are exploring the map, going district to district, looking into the history and the characteristics of each area that makes this city so interesting. Spread across the jagged curve of the West Coast, this city began as a dream, a planned utopia of commerce and progress. Founded in 1994 by visionary businessman Richard Knight. In those early years, the streets were clean, the skyline still modest, and the promise of opportunity was enough to draw people from across the globe. But the dream soured. Richard Knight was assassinated in 1998, and control of the city passed into the hands of powerful corporations. Over decades, corporate wars scarred its heart, the most infamous being the Fourth Corporate War in 2023, when a nuclear blast leveled the old Arasaka Tower. Out of the rubble, the city rebuilt, taller, harsher, and more dangerous. Now, Night City's outline is an irregular patchwork, a dense, glowing core in the city center, flanked by industrial zones to the north, luxury terraces to the west, and abandoned dreams to the south. Beyond its edges lie the sunburned Badlands, where nomads roam and the city's reach fades into dust. Each district has its own rhythm, its own scars from history, from the towering corporate monoliths of the city center to the neon-soaked alleyways of Watson, to the forgotten lawless edges of Pacifica. We'll explore the stories etched into each block, stories of ambition, loss, and survival that make Night City more than just a place on the map, but a living, breathing character of its own. So settle in, let the hum of the city surround you, and let's begin our journey, district by district, through the beating heart of the cyberpunk world. Watson is divided into several sub-districts. These include Little China, Kabuki, Northside Industrial Complex, and Arasaka Waterfront. Watson emerged during a chaotic power vacuum following the assassination of the city's founder, Richard Knight, in 1998. As various factions vied for control, Watson, home to Little China and Northside Industrial District, became a hotbed for gang activity and black market trade. as a gang stronghold in the central area, the combat zone region. Once a bustling industrial hub, Watson declined following the Unification War. Arasaka now dominates, especially around the fortified waterfront. Little China thrives with vibrant night markets and street life. Kabuki is a tangled web of alleys rife with black market activity, implants, cyber gear and illicit goods. Northside is gritty and dangerous, reflective of its industrial decay. The waterfront is a fortified corporate enclave. It's heavily secured and segregated from public access. Northside Industrial District is a decaying factory zone, now dominated by the Maelstrom gang. It's dark and perilous at night, so beware. Kabuki has sleek neon-lit alleys, bustling with the black market trade. It's loosely held by the tiger claws, and occasionally contested by the monks. Little China is a vibrant immigrant quarter, alive with food, nightlife, and cultural flair. However, it's still dangerous, despite its appearances. Westbrook can be subdivided into Japantown, Charter Hill, and North Oaks. It was meant to be a glamorous social hub. Westbrook developed its high-end districts like Japantown during the rebuilding after the Fourth Corporate War. Its elite housing, such as Charter Hill and North Oaks, were part of corporate-driven re-urbanization strategies after the mob war, 2005 to 2009, and subsequent corporate cleanup of the city centers. It's a glamorous zone. Westbrook is where elites live and go to unwind. Pulsates with neon, capsule hotels, arcades, those scarred by past warfare. Charter Hill offers sleek apartments for corpo workers, while North Oaks is a lush enclave for society's top tier. Japantown glows with neon, cherry blossoms, markets and shrines, but has a scarred history because of the Arasaka Tower explosion. Charter Hill is a mid-level residential area zone. It's cleaner and safer, housing corpo workers and the such. North Oaks is ultra-luxurious enclave reserved for Night City's elite, movie stars, altos, and wealthy corporates. City Center. The city center can be divided into the corporate plaza and downtown. Central Night City bore the brunt of the Fourth Corporate War in 2023, blasted Arasaka Tower in a devastating strike, turning the vicinity into the infamous hot zone. The aftermath triggered reconstruction under corporate governance and the gradual institution of corporate-backed city surveillance and control centers. This is the corporate heart and the hot zone. It was rebuilt after nuclear devastation. This district epitomizes the corporate might. Corporate Plaza towers with power and wealth, while downtown hides the duality, pristine by day, dangerous and gang-ridden by night. It's the epicenter of power and resilience. Corporate Plaza, rebuilt after the Fourth Corporate War, radiates corporate dominance through colossal towers and austere design. Downtown is a dual-natured area, slick and safe by day, but a shadowy, gang-infested maze at night. Heywood can be divided into sub-districts, including Well Springs, the Glen, and Vista del Rey. This is the bleed over from conflict, while less prominently featured in lore. Heywood grew as refugees flocked to safer residential zones after corporate mobs conflicts ripped through the city. Districts like Well Springs and the Glen offered relative stability, though Vista del Rey became a contested area, rife with gang crossfire and social instability. It's a sprawling residential zone with a cultural depth. Well Springs houses the middle class of Night City. The Glen hosts civic institutions such as the Town Hall, NCPD HQ, and the court, to mention a few. Vista del Rey, by contrast, is impoverished and rife with gang conflict, especially between the Valentinos and 6th Street. So this is a residential area marked by severe contrast. Well Springs being mid-tier neighborhood with an industrial meets residential vibe, which is relatively safe. The Glen, architecturally refined, housing government buildings and court offices, yet bordered by decline. And Vista del Rey, poverty-stricken and gang-plagued, a contested zone especially between Valentinos and 6th Street gangs. Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo can be divided into Rancho Coronado and Arroyo. This area faces neglect and industrial residue as Night City's oldest region, Santo Domingo saw minimal attention during elite-driven reconstruction post-2011. Industrial decline left areas dilapidated, while Rancho Coronado, originally worker housing, fell into corporate neglected and socio-economic decay. I have a little bit of a problem pronouncing the areas of here. This is one of the oldest zones. Santos is industrial power plants, factories, junkyards. They dominate the area. It's a restricted, corporate-controlled area. Rancho Coronado was marketed as housing for factory workers, the so-called American Dream style, but its facades hide hardship and corporate oversight. It has an aging industrial terrain. Factories, junkyards, and power plants abound. Its continuous demolition and rebuilding reflect corporate neglect and economic stagnation. Originally, worker housing was based here. Now, just a quiet residential outpost for corpos seeking refuge from city chaos. Pacifica. Pacifica can be subdivided into the following districts: Coast View, West Wind Estate, and that's it. As the failed dream turned wasteland. Initially planned as a resort district, Pacifica was left half-built and abandoned due to redirected corporate resources during wartime. Occupied by gangs like the Voodoo Boys, it was eventually designated unincorporated, its population significantly reduced by 2076, becoming a symbol of urban collapse by the time Cyberpunk 2077 is set. It's designed as a tourist paradise, but Pacifica fell into despair after economic collapse. Its buildings remain incomplete and derelict. The area is controlled by gangs, such as the aforementioned Voodoo Boys and Animals, as well as the fact that law enforcement has largely abandoned this area. Those gangs roam free. This area has devolved. The Coast View, controlled by Netrunner Voodoo Boys, has high-tech areas, but is also very dangerous and has destabilized greatly over the last few years. West Wind Estate is more scattered and is scavenger-ridden. Even abandoned zones carry risk here, so proceed here with caution. The Badlands. The Badlands is survival beyond the city. Outside Night City's gilded and war-torn borders lies the Badlands, a rugged frontier where nomad clans operate. They have become key to the city's lifeline, smuggling in essential goods and sustaining trade routes in the aftermath of corporate wars and infrastructure collapse. The arid expanse surrounding Night City is sparsely populated, rugged, and a roaming terrorist given the right choices, may take you out here, but there is a lot to be discovered post-game. There is a lot hidden out here. Let's talk about Dogtown, the Phantom Liberty DLC. This was a new combat-heavy district introduced in the Phantom Liberty expansion. It's a lawless area and ruled by warlords. Dogtown is the setting for a gripping rescue mission involving the NUSA president. Citywide events impacting all districts include the mob rule era from 2005 to 2009 and the Fourth Corporate War 2023. During the mob rule era, organized crime seized control of multiple districts, igniting widespread violence, culminating in the mob war that lasted from 2009 to 2011, pitting corporations against gangs and eventually culminating in corporate dominance across Night City. The Fourth Corporate War. The nuclear strike on Arasaka Tower reshaped the city's physical and political landscape, ushering in the time of the Red, with lasting environmental and societal consequences. That brings me to the gangs, the gang influence and dynamics in various areas. Honestly, gang control transcends district boundaries. However, we can broadly describe the areas that they occupy or dominate. First, the Tiger Claws. They have a strong presence in Watson and Japantown. Second, Maelstrom. They thrive in the industrial zones, like the NID and Kabuki, making this area more dangerous than it needs to be. Third, the Valentinos and 6th Street. As previously mentioned, they compete in Heywood and Santo Domingo. The Voodoo Boys are located in Pacifica, especially near the university and tech hubs. And the Scavengers are ubiquitous. They don't hold territory, but scavenge across districts and can be seen around Wellsprings and Pacifica. CD Projekt Red intentionally crafted Night City as a narrative character in itself, each district shaped by architectural styles ranging from vibrant kitsch to practical entropism to austere neo-militarism, reflecting historical and societal shifts. The layering of gang territories, corporate enclaves, the vertical exploration and hidden nooks ensure the city remains immersive, alive, and unpredictable. CD Projekt Red did not disappoint with the design of the city, at least. thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Night City map. If you want more content like this, please leave a comment, and like and subscribes always help the channel, so please consider doing that. Thank you.